Hey guys, my name is Bart, and today I'm going to talk to you about why I think this year, 2025, is the perfect time to start a podcast. This question comes up for years. I feel like every year you see a new video that says, is it too late to start a podcast? Did I miss my chance? Because podcasting has been around since, I think, 2005 or 2006 or something like that. So I personally started a show in 2018, and just this year, when I'm releasing this, about 6 months into 2025, about halfway through, and I've recently kind of started to slow down a little bit, but truly I can tell you it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, both from a standpoint of having people in your industry, whatever it is that you want to talk about in your show, building some notoriety. It's good for your business if you're trying to do it from a business perspective, and also monetarily. Like, you can make some decent money. Like, I will tell you, in my best year was 2023, and I made about $20,000 off the podcast. But there's a caveat, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. So when I say that, yes, 2025, even going into 2026, looking ahead a little bit, is a great time to start a podcast, is I think the term podcast, I would say it's becoming outdated to say podcast, because now it's much more than that. Yeah, there's tons of shows out there that are just true to form podcasts where, you go to your favorite podcast, listening platform. Like, I use Apple Podcasts because it's just the easiest for me to pull up. And I listen to the audio. I'm at the airport, I'm at the car, I'm walking the dog. That's great. It's easy. But for you, if you are just starting out, I would say, don't even go into this thinking, I'm going to start a podcast. Go into it thinking, I'm going to start a YouTube channel that's also a podcast, or a podcast that's also a YouTube channel. I don't want to say you have to, because the cool thing about all this is there's no rules. I mean, really, you're the master of your show once you start it. It could be anything. Like, the person watching this, you watching this right now, could have the next great idea, and there's literally nothing in the world that says that, that you can't do it. But, okay, so let me explain the YouTube thing. In my experience of doing a podcast for years, and I recorded tons of other people's podcasts as an audio engineer, the main question I would always hear from people who I would record is, well, how do I make money? That is the biggest question for, honestly, pretty much most things in life, is how do you make money at it? So the way to really kind of set yourself up for success is, from day one, start releasing on YouTube. Start doing it as a video podcast. Why? Because YouTube is set up, once you get through the threshold of joining the creator program, whatever it's called, the threshold of having 1,000 subscribers, YouTube partner program is what it is. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. At the time of releasing this, that's what it is. That may change, that is a harder and harder number to achieve for whatever reason. People don't subscribe as much on YouTube as they do. But back to what I was saying, YouTube is set up to be automatic payments for you if you're creating content that is getting views. It's not a cheat code to get money faster. It's not a cheat code to get success quicker, because it is a lot of hard work. It is honestly a lot of sacrifice running a successful podcast. And I'll explain that in a little bit, what I mean by sacrifice. But so if you're interested in getting financial returns quickly, make sure you're focusing on YouTube as fast as possible. I shouldn't say quickly, because it still takes time. I mean, it might take you 2 years to get to the point of making money on YouTube. But if you were just releasing podcast episodes and just putting them out there in the world, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the platforms, like an RSS feed, there's nothing out there that's going to just automatically pay you money. So if you do a podcast and you get 1 million, streams or downloads on your show in an audio platform, that doesn't equal any money unless you're set up on a platform that is monetized. there's different ways to make money. That's not really what the point of this video is. We can talk about that in another time, but in another video, actually. But what I will say is, because, as I'm saying, 2025 into next year is a great time to start a podcast. It's because more people know about podcasts than when I started in 2018. They were popular. Yeah, everyone kind of knew what they were, but I'd say 50% of people you talk to honestly probably hadn't even listened to one. And I don't think I'm over exaggerating there, where I would have to explain to people all the time back then what it is. And yes, at that point it had been going on for 10, 12 years, but that doesn't mean the average consumer had been listening to it. So I think there's sometimes this fear of like, oh my God, it's already been, podcasts are as big as they're ever going to get. I've missed the boat. I don't think I should do this. There's no point. That is like very much not true. And I think honestly, use that to help kind of energize you to do it. Because I am telling you, if you are watching this video right now, there are 10,000 other people who are thinking the same thing and will not start a podcast. They will not start a YouTube channel. They will think about doing it forever and not do it. Right now, me doing this, I have done a podcast where I interview people for 6.5 years, and I'm just taking a bit of a hiatus. I'll probably continue on with that show at some point, but right now, I am doing this video because I want to have my own thing, and I have been telling myself to start this and do this for 3 months. And right now, I'm just like, you know what, I can't wait any longer. I just want to put it up, because think about like, if you would have started this podcast that you're thinking about right now a year ago, you'd be a year into it and already past the kind of, I should say, crappy phase at the beginning of just like putting out a video, it gets a couple views, the next one gets a couple more. Like it sort of stinks at first. I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but I just wanted to let you know that like, it is a ton of hard work. It's worth it. It's just as much hard work now as it was for me, 2018. I started releasing some YouTube videos in 2011, and I guess that was probably a little bit different back then if we're thinking about when was it easiest, because it wasn't as much content then. But now versus 5 years ago versus 7 years ago, it's just more people are aware of it. There's a great opportunity now for you to make some money off of this. And actually, on that note, talked about YouTube. Get set up, start releasing stuff, do shorts. Releasing shorts of your stuff just puts you in front of people with captions. I think that's a great tool for 2025 into 2026. I do that for my job where I edit video, where we make shorts all the time. We have been seeing 10, 15 new subscribers a day on that channel just from releasing shorts. I heard someone say once that it's like a rule of tens or something like that. I'm going to paraphrase, where you release 10 shorts and one does really well, 4 do okay, and then 5 completely flop. So remember that when you're doing that and you're chopping up your episodes. Be sure to utilize that this year to help grow the content. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking about starting a show. So I want to say a few things about that. Like, just do it. You can change the topic as you go. You can get more comfortable as you go. Don't be afraid to start. Don't have the kind of like just indecision where you can't figure out what you're going to do. No, like I say this with all the respect in the world to everyone, because if you're watching this, you're thinking about starting. I'm in the same boat with lots of things. I watch a million videos and then I go, all right, I got to start finally. But no one's going to watch your first couple videos. Like, I hope they do. I truly want people to watch your videos. Comment on this if you're watching this and send it so people can support you. What your show name is in the comments. But just coming from experience, if you release this, your brand new show, you have to have 10, 20 episodes for people to really start to catch on. When I was releasing my podcast turned into a YouTube channel. People, which is not this channel. If you're watching this and wondering, this guy has like no subscribers at this point, it's because it's a different channel. But people said after 20, someone told me until I released 20 episodes, he didn't think I was like serious about it. If you're releasing weekly or bi-weekly, if you're releasing bi-weekly episodes, 20 episodes takes forever to get to. Like 20 episodes would be over a year. I mean, I'm trying to do the math really quickly in my head on camera, but if you're releasing weekly, that's almost, let's say, a little bit less than 6 months weekly. And it's for someone to say, like, I didn't think you were serious. And it's like, well, no, I've been working on this extremely hard. So again, get used to that. But I think more than ever with AI, with tools that you should be aware of. Again, 2025, right now it's AI, like kind of the wave of AI is here. Use those tools to your advantage. ChatGPT, ask for ideas on what you should talk about. Ask for, this is a tip that I saw today actually, someone else talk about. Ask ChatGPT to interview you on things that you should know about a topic, or to quiz you and then get you ready for a topic that you're about to talk about with someone else. If your podcast is you interviewing someone, or if it's just you can totally do that either way. Just seems obvious, but I think sometimes people, what I'm about to say seems obvious, but I think sometimes people just want so badly to start something, they just jump right in and don't think about, like, if you're going to talk about a topic, plan on talking about it for 5 years with different people. So be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, you are going to get kind of burnt out about it. Like the topic I've talked about in my show, which is the drums. I am a lifelong drummer. I've been passionate about it my entire life, and I still am. But man, after taking a break, I'm kind of like, yeah, I want to talk about podcasting, because that's what I've done for years, audio engineering. I want to talk about other things. So even I, at this point, let's call it 7 years into it, feel the need to talk about something else and try something else. But again, I did it for 7 years. Make sure you are well aware of how much you're going to have to talk about it and devote your time into it, which, again, talked about it before. I think this is on topic. I'm kind of doing this like a vlog style with just myself, hopefully not editing very much. I will say that there are sacrifices you have to make, and I don't think I'm exaggerating that, because I can speak a lot from experience of like having a podcast and a YouTube channel that is weekly, where you're interviewing people and you're setting up interviews and you're having sponsors. It's another thing beyond just YouTube money. Like if you want to make real money, you get brand deals, you sell merchandise, you do all this stuff. You have got to actually sacrifice time that you would probably be doing something else to spend the time on the podcast. So that's not something that's changed from 15 years ago to 10 years ago to 5 years ago to today. An example would be like if you enjoy playing video games at night, you work all day, the sacrifice would be you truly would, like, instead of playing video games, you'd work on the podcast. If you enjoy something else, or if you have kids and your kids go to bed, like for me, a lot of times it was like I'd sacrifice, like instead of going to bed, like I have 3 small kids. Ever since I've had my show, it's been kids go to bed, and then I work on the podcast from like 8:30 p.m. until like midnight or 1 a.m. pretty much every night, like 6 or 7 days a week. And that's probably why I got so burnt out. But like if you're releasing weekly shows and you have sponsors and you have money that's like it's supporting paying for like daycare or something, you kind of have to stick with that. But I remember there was a time where I was like, my boss, the guy I worked for doing video for years, was retiring, and I needed to be looking for a different job, but I was editing a YouTube video that was a huge 2 hour times 3. It was a 3-part series and each episode was 2 hours. And I was like, I just got to finish this. And it was the most successful at that point YouTube video I'd ever put out, like monetarily and view wise. So the sacrifice paid off. And I did end up getting a different job. But I'm sitting there like, man, I need to like, you are truly choosing to do this podcast, YouTube channel, content over other things in your life. Like there's a lot of times where I was in a weird position because having a baby, you're not really going out and playing, and if you're a musician, gigs, hanging out with your friends on Saturday nights too much, going to like a bar, because you kind of have a baby, you're doing it anyway. Being at home is what I mean. You're going to be at home anyway. But I use that time to just edit the show, and scheduling can be difficult. I'm not trying to discourage you at all, by the way. I'm trying to just let you know what you're getting yourself into. I say all this as it's the best thing I ever did in my life. I mean, the things that happened were incredible. I got to hang out backstage at multiple like Rolling Stones concerts and you know, meet tons of cool drummers. So well worth it, but it is like an absolute grind week after week after week. So that will not change. If there's any video in 5 years from now, you know, 5 years ago, it's always the same. Hard work and quality pays off for a high quality show. People like quality, they like consistency, they like hearing you every week or every other week. Once a month is too far away. I'll just say it. It's too spread out. You got to either do once a week or every other week, I think. You could do every third week, but that'd be once a month. So no, do once a week or every 2 weeks. I think that's totally fine. And just stick with it. So I think I've rambled enough now on this first video of me kind of doing things solo away from interviewing people for years, which I will say, I should have said it before. If you stuck with it this long, I'll tell you, the podcast I did and the YouTube channel is called Drum History Podcast. So if you're watching this and you're a fan of drum history, then I appreciate it. And I hope you like this kind of new stuff I'm doing. So anyway, thank you for watching this. And like I said, just you got to get out there and start what you're trying to put out, because there's no better time than now. It doesn't matter if it's 2025, 26, 2020, maybe not 2020, because that kind of probably got a little flooded with people trying to do this. So it's probably better now, post-pandemic, to do this than ever. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of everything you can. And like I said, start it as a YouTube channel, not just a podcast. Because realistically, you're watching this on YouTube right now. So I think it's a great place to start, and you're making the first steps. And share in the comments your show, and I would love to check it out. And you know, I believe in you and you can do it. So thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to this, because this is a pretty new channel for me and I want to do tons of cool stuff. So subscribe and check out the next video. Thanks.